Good morning, old school Texas Tech. Hope everybody is doing well. I know there are a lot of bowl projections out there. I'm hearing three teams continue to pop up in connection with matchups with Texas Tech in bowl games, depending primarily on how the conference championship game goes today. I think it's this year's situation with bowl projections is even more complex than usual because some of the Pac 12 or whatever they called the conference prior to the four corner schools coming over, they still have bowl tie-ins from that conference. But anyway, basically, what I'm hearing is that if Iowa State beats Arizona State, there's a good chance that we will head to the Texas Bowl and probably play LSU. If Arizona State defeats Iowa State, there's a good chance that we're going to go to the bowl in Phoenix, the one that's played at the baseball stadium. I think it's like the Guarantee Rate Bowl, something like that. I should have checked into that. I'm sorry. And I'm told that there's like a 50-50 chance that the opponent could either be Rutgers or Nebraska. So I'm starting with the team that I think would be the easiest of the three opponents, and then I'll kind of work my way up. I'm sorry if I offend anybody with this, but I think that the easiest, not that any of them would be easy games. Bowl games are not they're not ever really easy, and especially in this day and age when we don't really know who exactly is going to be playing. But I'm going to go over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. It's a team, to my knowledge, that Texas Tech has never played, which would be kind of interesting. Their record this year was 7-5. They had an over and under going into the season at 6.5 wins. Looks like they forced about 27.9 points a game. I could do the math on this, but but I don't. Frankly, I don't feel like it. I've seen two different numbers for points allowed per game. One's 21.2 and the other one's 23.8. I know their defensive coordinator has been hired away, so they were a pretty good defensive team and a tough conference. We'll go over kind of their schedule and who they played and what happened there. They played Howard August 29th, won that one 44-7. Played Akron at home, won that one 49-17. Went on the road and beat Virginia Tech. I believe Virginia Tech and their next opponent, Washington, both ended the season 6-6. They started the season 4-0. They lost to Nebraska, another possible bowl opponent on the road at Lincoln, but it was 14-7, so pretty decent game. They're blown out by Wisconsin, lost to both the LA schools. The game against UCLA at home was just by a field goal, 35-32. They lost to USC 42-20. They beat Minnesota. I think, yeah, Minnesota, I believe, went 7-5 this year. They beat Maryland. Maryland had a losing record. I know that. They lost to 25th ranked Illinois at home by a touchdown, and then they beat Michigan State 41-14 on the road. That seems like a pretty solid win, but I haven't studied Michigan State that closely. Anyway, so basically, what it looks like to me is that they're okay on offense, not great. Their quarterback only completed 54.8% of his passes. He threw 6 picks, 17 touchdowns. They had one running back that got the ball 256 times, ran for 5 yards a carry. Another that ran for 4.2 yards a carry. But I think a lot of that came, early in the season when they weren't playing the really difficult Big Ten defenses. I haven't studied that in depth, but that's kind of what it looks like to me. They did well with time of possession. They were +4 in the turnover margin. I think for like a season grade, I would probably, not knowing that much about Rutgers. I'm not pretending to be an expert on their team, but they won 7 games, so they hit the over in Vegas. Obviously, their defense is well respected for their defensive coordinator to be hired away, and I would have to say, out of the 3 teams that I'm hearing, Rutgers, Nebraska, and LSU, I would say Rutgers would be the easiest team for Tech to beat. But obviously, it would be a good game, and probably a lot of it would depend on who is playing. Anyway, that's the first possible bowl opponent, and it is also going to be my uh, final grade for Rutgers for the season. I'm going to go with a B minus just because it just didn't look like they were that great on offense, but they had a pretty good year on defense. Seems like they're a solid team. I think it would be a fun bowl matchup. Maybe not the most fun of the 3, but I think it would be a fun bowl matchup.